Hello everyone. In this video I will bring you up the movie Kung Fu Panda Season 4 to explain. In this season, there are more strange things that happen. How can Panda solve these problems? Let's get into our story. But before we get starting, please give me one subscribe. Thank you so much. Our story begins in a mining area. There are many goat workers working there. Suddenly, Tai Lung appears. The goat workers run away in fear. Tai Lung said, "That's right, I am Tai Lung, I am back. Go tell the dragon warrior that I am back and I will take back what is mine." Then Tai Lung burns down the mining area and said that no one can stop him. In the noodle shop, Mr. Ping and Mr. Li live together and work together. Cut to Pooh. He is coming to the port to fight the monster stingray. It moves very fast, it can fly and swim. Pooh has a hard fighting with it. Pooh uses the bamboo he is standing on to propel him into the sky. Pooh grabs the monster stingray's tail and uses it as a rope to tie itself back down to the ground. Pooh saves the life of piglets that the monster stingray swallowed. Pooh went back to the village. Many children come to welcome Pooh. Some ask him for Dragon Warrior signed. Pooh signed and signed, raising forehead to Master Shifu. He apologizes to Master and erases the signed, but that's much worse. Pooh arrived at the noodle restaurant and announces to the villagers that today the Dragon Warrior Noodles and Tofu Noodle Restaurant is open. Master Shifu calls Pooh to Jade Palace with him. He has something to discuss about. Master Shifu said, "Do you remember the first time you climbed these steps to the Jade Palace?" Pooh said, "How could I forget? I thought I'd never make it to the top." Master Shifu said, "Pooh, it's been a long time since you were a dragon warrior. It's time for you to choose your successor." Pooh asks Master Shifu, "A successor for what?" Master Shifu said, "A successor to be the next dragon warrior." Pooh asked Master Shifu, "If I choose the next dragon warrior, I will no longer be a dragon warrior, right?" Master Shifu said, "Exactly." Pooh asked Master Shifu, "What will happen if I no longer be a dragon warrior?" Master Shifu said, "You will oversee the valley, passing along wisdom and inspiring hope." Pooh doesn't want to stop being a dragon warrior. Master Shifu said that Master Oogway chose you as his successor, and now you must choose yours. Pooh said, "Please, being the dragon warrior is all I know, it's who I am." Master Shifu said the Valley of Peace needs a spiritual leader. Today, the Dragon Warrior selection has begun. There are many visitors. There are 5 candidates who have good martial arts. They show their martial arts for everyone to see. Master Shifu said that now it is time for the Dragon Warrior to choose his successor. Pooh said that there are many candidates who are good at martial arts. It is difficult to choose. So I chose myself. I am the Dragon Warrior. The villagers congratulate Pooh. Master Shifu sighed. Master Shifu said, "When I'm conflicted, I come here to ask the universe for answers. Just as Master Oogway did before me." Master Shifu gave Pooh a chewed-up peach pit and said every pit holds the promise of a mighty tree. Pooh uses inner peace to seek answers from the universe. But Pooh is hungry, he can't do it. No food, no inner peace. Suddenly someone sneak into the Jade Palace. Pooh comes in and said, "Mysterious figure, the Dragon Warriors here to perform justice." Mysterious person throws a blade at Pooh, but he manages to catch it and pass it to the floor. Mysterious person said, "Dragon Warrior is just a walking stick." Pooh gets angry and chases after the mysterious person, who is actually a fox. She tries to cause trouble for Pooh by pouring oil on the floor, causing valuable items to fall on the floor. Pooh tries to protect these items from damage. Only the soul pot that was once broken will break again. Fox plays dead and takes the staff of wisdom from Pooh. Pooh said it's time to stop playing. Pooh kicked many rocks at Fox to escape. She managed to escape until it was actually a trick of Pooh. He kicked a rock with a chain at Fox. Finally, he was able to catch Fox and take back his staff of wisdom. Fox said, just tell me one thing, how did someone like you become the Dragon Warrior? Pooh said, this is a mystery for you to solve during your 2-year stay in Valley of Peace prison. While they were talking, a group of goat workers ran up to tell Pooh that Tai Lung is back. He demanded all of our iron, then destroyed our quarry. Please, you have got to do something. Fox said, looks like I'm not the only one around here with a mystery to solve. Pooh went to the scene to look for some clues. He saw footprints from big to small. He doesn't understand what they were. Pooh went to ask Fox for some details. Pooh wonders if Tai Lung is in the spirit realm. Why could he cross over to the mortal world? Fox said she has heard this story. She's the Empress of Disguise, capable of taking any form, mimicking any shape. The Master of Deception, the Lizard of Lies with the glowing teal eyes. She is the Chameleon. Master Shifu arrived and asks Pooh, what are you doing here? Pooh said that there is an urgent matter to be resolved and someone needs to protect the Valley of Peace. Master Shifu said that it is the job of the Furious Five and your job is to find a successor. Pooh said, goodbye Master, I will find my successor when I finish this job. Pooh told the fox to take him to meet the chameleon. He will set her free. In the noodle restaurant, the villagers are talking about the chameleon. Some said that she is a fairy who likes to take Panda to make her food. Mr. Ping talks to Mr. Li that our son going to take down an evil sorceress wasn't such a great idea. Mr. Li said, relax, don't worry, Pooh has faced demons, demigods, and everything else in between. Cut to a large gathering of party leaders. Bear leader said, we used to run this city. Now we pay Chameleon half the money we swindle. She's just some bug eyes power-hungry reptilian nut. Crocodile leader said, what could we do? Bear leader said, together, we can take her down. Crocodile leader said, Chameleon, she could be at this very table and we'd have no idea. You are the chameleon, or maybe, I am the chameleon. Everyone here apologizes to her. Chameleon said, no need to apologize, I need all of you. I'm very close to achieving it. As close as the blood moon. Which is why I'll need to increase this month's tribute to 60%. If anyone backstabbing me again, I am Elephant. Cut to Pooh. He is walking through the bamboo forest. He has eaten all the cookies in the box. Fox said, you're just gonna give me half of your cookie out of the goodness of your heart? Pooh gave her half. She was very hungry. At the noodle shop late at night, Mr. Ping carefully walks out of the restaurant. Suddenly, Mr. Li falls over the fence and they both scream. Mr. Ping asks Mr. Li, what are you doing out here in the middle of the night? Mr. Li said, I didn't want to miss the blood moon rising. Mr. Ping said, tell me honestly. Are you just as worried as I am? Mr. Li said, yes I am. Mr. Ping said, as a father, we are always worried about our baby. They both left the city at night to look for Pooh. Pooh arrived at the restaurant that was open for customers at night, the Happy Bunny Tavern. Pooh came into the shop to have dinner and find a boat. Little Bunny said, welcome to the Happy Bunny Tavern. Fox sees group of playing gambling. She is interested and asks to play. She is a beginner. Pooh asks the bartender for a boat ride to Juniper City. Bartender said, ask this guy. He is a captain. Fox said, I win again, beginner's luck, I guess. Manager said, you never played before? Pooh said, give me a boat ride to Juniper City, sir. Captain said, it'll cost you double. Pay me first. Pooh gave the captain a gold coin. In fact, the captain was a fish. He said, you got a deal. Fox ordered several dishes to eat. Before Pooh ate, he asked Fox, how can you paid for this? Fox said, legally, lawfully, fair and square. Pooh doesn't know what's going on, he's happy to eat. Fox sees that the situation is bad. She calls Pooh, let's go. Manager said, did you actually think you could grift a meal out of me? Pooh said, there's got to be some sort of misunderstanding here. Manager said, there is nothing to understand. Destroy them. Pooh has no choice, fight the wolves. While chaos, Captain Fish flies into the fire. Luckily, Pooh catches him and puts him back in his original place. Pooh said, it's time, skadoosh. Manager attacks Pooh. At first glance he thinks she is strong, but in fact she doesn't know kung fu. Pooh breaks through the restaurant wall and falls onto Captain Fish's boat. Cut to Double Dad. Mr. Lee said, what if the chameleon knows we're coming? She could be anywhere, anyone. The stairs break. Mr. Lee slips down. Mr. Ping tries to help Mr. Lee. In fact, Mr. Lee is fine because there are rocks underneath. While riding the boat, Fox said it wasn't easy being a little fox in a big city. I had to survive any way I could, grifting, shilling, gaffing. Pooh said, oh, so you're an orphan like me, but I have Double Dad now. Captain Fish said maybe she should be the spiritual leader of the Valley of Geese. In the chameleon's palace, her soldiers are creating many cages. We don't know her intentions. The four leaders said we've come to pay tribute as you requested. Chameleon said go back, get me more. More. Everyone was shocked. Chameleon said go before I toss you down another flight of stairs. Chameleon said at last, my destiny approaches. I'll expand my rule from Juniper City to every city and town and village from here to the Valley of Peace and beyond. Pooh said I had a vision. I saw the chameleon. She's gonna take over cities and towns and the Valley of Peace. We must stop her. Fox said, okay, then you're in luck. Welcome to Juniper City. This is the place where you can be whatever you want to be, do whatever you want to do. Captain Fish said that came out of nowhere. Fox said, well, sure is good to be home again. The sights. The sounds. Pooh said the smells. It's a wonton wonderland. Fox said, Pooh, focus. Pooh said this city is the most amazing place I have ever seen. Nearby, the chameleon soldiers walk around collecting taxes from the people. Everyone is afraid and pays taxes to them. Pooh said, tonight we take down the chameleon. Pooh saw the arrest notice and found out that Fox, named Jean, is a wanted criminal. Jean said, don't worry, the law has better things to do than look for me. Police Bull said, hey Fox, we've been looking for you. Pooh said, morning officers. Dragon Warrior here. The Fox and I are here on official Dragon Warrior biz. Police Bull asked, what is Dragon Warrior? Pooh said, oh, I will show you. The Kung Fu Panda. Jean said, no one believes you. Now we try it my way. Pooh said, you can't run away from the law. Jean said, it looks like I am not the only one. Immediately, the police chased after the two of them in large numbers. They were everywhere, even on the roof. Pooh rode a dragon kite to escape from the police. Jean led Pooh to a secret place and opened the door for Pooh to escape. Jean said, welcome to home sweet home. Some of the best crooks and criminals in all of Juniper City live here. There are 3 baby rabbits. They are biting Pooh. Jean said, oh Han, my old mentor. Han said, I'd be sure to give you a proper homecoming. Pooh said those who resort to violence now will only find more violence later. But the people there said, so what you're saying is, if we don't hurt Jean a little now, we can hurt her a lot later. The villagers' home sweet home were happy and left. Han asked Pooh who you are. Pooh said, I am the student of Master Shifu. Han said, oh, I heard of the legendary Master Shifu, but you are not him. The rabbit gave Pooh tea to drink. Jean said, don't drink, it is actually poison. Jean said, Han, we just need someplace to lie low for a while until the heat cools off. Han said, fine, if you're still here by nightfall, I am calling the bulls myself. Mr. Lee and Mr. Ping arrived at the Happy Bunny Tavern. Mr. Ping opened the door to the restaurant to look for information about Pooh. Mr. Ping said, I am so sorry to interrupt. Has anyone seen the panda passing by? Manager asked, do you know him? Mr. Ping said, why, I am his dad. Manager said, you need to pay for what your son did to my tavern. Mr. Ping was caught and nearly put him into soup. Mr. Lee comes and said, hands off the goose. Everyone is scared and said, Panda is back. Mr. Lee said, no, I am not him. Everything he learned from me. Except one thing, mercy. Now, this can go one of two ways. The easy way, tell me where he is. And the hard way you will understand because I have no teeth. Mahjong. Mr. Lee, I said you play it, I eat it. He walked down the restaurant, looking at everyone in fear. Mr. Ping said, "Where's our son?" Manager said he took a boat to Juniper City. Mr. Lee and Mr. Ping leaves quickly. But in the end, the restaurant still falls into the water. The rabbits are happy because they are free now. Han said the coast is clear. Thieves, hit the streets, you two, get out of my sight. Zhen said that we have only this way that we can sneak and get in quickly, without any obstacles. Pooh said, Zhen, I have something for you. Zhen said, why you give me a chewed-up peach pit? Pooh said, one from Master Oogway's peach tree of heavenly wisdom. It's a valley of peace thing. It's supposed to remind me that every pit holds the promise of a mighty tree. Maybe it'll do the same for you. Mr. Lee and Mr. Ping asked the people living here, but no one had seen Pooh. Pooh got out of the tunnel and left the iron tunnel cover stand. It rolled down loudly, but the chameleon soldier was still sleeping. Pooh and Zhen moved very carefully. Zhen's fur touched Pooh's nose. Pooh got a small fart that sounds woke the soldier up. Pooh had no choice and ran into the mechanical door. It's very dangerous. Finally, they were able to enter the palace. Suddenly, a cage fell on Pooh. He tried to break it off, but it was in vain. Pooh tried to lift it, but it was too heavy. Pooh gave the Staff of Wisdom to Zhen and said to use the Skadoosh form I taught you. But Zhen took it to the chameleon. Chameleon said, you gave it to Zhen and now Zhen has given it to me. This staff, we cannot use it if it is not given by its owner. Pooh said, Zhen, what happened to you? Chameleon said, you should have seen the little gutter snipe before I found her. Mangy and half-starved, hanging out with those rejects from the den of thieves. She had no fear. Such potential. So I took her in. I made her what she is today. Pooh said, so you do everything to get the Staff of Wisdom, do you? Chameleon said, my dream, I wanted respect and power. I wanted to be a master of Kung Fu. Every master of Kung Fu said I was too small, too lowly, that Kung Fu was not my destiny. So I chose the different path, sorcery. She said, just because I can look like Tai Lung doesn't mean I can fight like him. Now that I have access to the spirit realm. Pooh said, no, you forgot about me. Chameleon said, don't bother, those bars are enchanted with some very old and very powerful magic. Pooh said, then I won't go through them. I'll go under them. Pooh finally can escape from the cage, fighting off several chameleon soldiers. Pooh ran to the exit and fought two soldiers fall to the ground. Said Pooh. Pooh said, Zhen, hand my staff over. Zhen said, sorry that I lied to you. One more, Zhen called Pooh. In fact, it's Chameleon. She pushed Pooh down. Zhen said, you never said you were gonna hurt him. Chameleon said, someone always gets hurt, and make sure it's never you. Cut to Pooh. He can hold on to the branch. A soldier jumped and attacked Pooh. Suddenly, Mr. Ping flew over and kicked the soldier down. The branch broke. Mr. Lee, I grabbed Pooh's hand. Double Dad said, we're coming after you, son. Pooh said, you follow because you didn't believe in me. Mr. Ping said, because we love you. Pooh said, okay, you're right, but I screwed up big time. I trusted the wrong person. I gave the Staff of Wisdom right to the chameleon. Mr. Ping said, everyone is afraid of change. Pooh, even me. Change doesn't always have to be a bad thing. There are many chameleon soldiers carrying many cages to the palace. Chameleon said, don't tell me you were actually starting to become friends with that panda. Zhen said, no, I don't do that. Chameleon said, tonight, when the blood moon rises to its highest point in the night sky, I will open the door to the spirit realm and all of its secrets will be mine. But the blood moon rise slowly. She can't wait, so she is going to open the spirit realm now, using the staff of wisdom, and said, "Bring me Tai Lung." Tai Lung said, "Who are you, and what are you doing with that staff?" Chameleon said, "This was given to me by an old friend of yours." Tai Lung said, "Why have you brought me back?" Chameleon said, "I summoned you here so that you could teach me your most legendary kung fu moves." Tai Lung said, "No, I don't share." He walked back. The gate disappeared. Chameleon said it wasn't a request. The soldiers attacked Tai Lung, but no one could defeat Tai Lung. Tai Lung continued to attack the chameleon, but her tongue was so fast that it absorbed all of Tai Lung's power. She transformed into Tai Lung and beat Tai Lung into a magic cage. The chameleon said, "Now all of your kung fu is now mine." Zhen watched this. Mr. Li said, "No staff is worth your life." Pu said, "As long as I'm still the dragon warrior, I won't let anyone else get hurt because of me." Zhen runs to Pu and said, "Pu, I am sorry, I was wrong about everything. Please don't go, it's dangerous." Pu said, "I don't believe you, leave me alone." Zhen attacks Pu. Pu asks, "Why are you doing this?" Zhen said, "To stop you from getting killed." Pu said, "What do you care if I get killed or not?" Zhen said, "Please Pu, just let me do one thing right." Pu said, "I must to stop chameleon, and you get as far away from this place as you can." Mr. Li said, "We can't let him go in there alone." Zhen comes to Home Sweet Home and said, "The dragon warrior's in trouble. I need your help, everyone." Han said, "Why should we help you?" Zhen said, "Because it's the right thing to do." Everyone laugh. But Han understands that, so what you're saying is, the more right we do now, the more wrong we can do later. Everyone agrees to help Zhen. Pu ties up the guards and walks into the palace. Cut to the chameleon. She is calling many spirit warriors to absorb their power. Pu sees all what is happening. Master Rhino said the chameleon is pulling spirits from the spirit realm. Master Crocodile said she's using your staff to do it. Tai Lung said Panda Ugwe made a mistake choosing you as the dragon warrior. Pu said, "I am going to get that staff back and restore your kung fu, and return you all to the spirit realm." Mr. Li dressed up like a brave man and said, "Now, this can go one of two ways. The easy way, in which you surrender willingly." Mr. Li used his old trick again. But the chameleon soldiers were not fooled by Mr. Li. They followed and attacked him. 3 rabbits stood in the middle of the road. The soldiers said they were cute. The rabbits attacked the soldiers. Mr. Li said, "Nice trick, bro." The Home Sweet Home villagers came down from the mountain to help the dragon warrior. Chameleon said, "Can't you even die, right?" Pu said, "Now you give me my staff of wisdom." Unexpected Chameleon threw the staff of wisdom back to Pu. She said, "Take it. I already have everything I need from it anyway." Pu said, "I had a dumpling for every time. Why do you need endless?" Chameleon said, "My combined power of sorcery and kung fu make me unstoppable." Master Shifu said in Pu's mind that we're very proud of you, now go kick her butt. Pu fights with chameleons like he fights with animals in the zoo. She transforms into all kinds of forms using all kinds of martial arts. Chameleon said, "Recognize this movie." Tai Lung said, "You didn't earn those skills. You just stole from us." Suddenly Zhen dropped the magic cage on the chameleon. Chameleon said, "Now that doesn't seem fair." She said, "Master Cobra," and transformed into a monster. Master Osprey, Master Scorpion, Master Wolf, General Kai, Lord Shen. Pu said, "That is awesome." Chameleon chased and attacked Pu. She grabbed Zhen and flew into the sky. Pu grabbed Chameleon's tail, pulled her head left and right, and then fell back to the ground. Zhen asked Pu, "Are you okay?" In fact, Chameleon turned into Pooh. She said, I thought we were friends. Real Pooh said, stand back. I'm gonna kick my butt. Fake Pooh fights with real Pooh. But fake Pooh looks stronger than real one. Chameleon burned pieces of the magic cages and threw them at Pooh to confine him. Zhen said, come on Pooh, get out of there. Pooh said, Zhen, you have to do this. I can't beat the chameleon. Remember the lesson I taught you how to use the Staff of Wisdom. Zhen fights with the chameleon, but Zhen is not her match. Chameleon said, you ungrateful little urchin. After all I've done for you, you betrayed me for the panda. Zhen said, first rule, never trust anyone. Chameleon said, you can't defeat me, I know all your moves. Zhen said, not this one. Skadoosh. Pooh said, that's a cool move. Zhen said, Pooh, you could have gotten out of that cage? Pooh said, of course, any time if I want. Zhen said, you are faker. Pooh said, no, it's method. Besides, how's a peach pit ever supposed to become a tree? If I never give you the chance, how can you grow? Before it hasn't finished yet, Chameleon moved quietly behind Pooh's back, while he's chatting with Zhen. Surprised, Pooh realized that Chameleon had been moving behind his back. He gave her a gift, Skadoosh. The power that Chameleon had absorbed from the Spirit Master returned to its original owner. All Spirit Masters were free. Tai Lung said, maybe Oogway was right about you. You aren't completely useless after all. The villagers congratulate on Pooh. Tai Lung said, I think it's time for you send us home. Panda. Pooh uses the Staff of Wisdom to create a dragon gate to send the Spirit Master back to the spirit realm. Chameleon said, Zhen, do something. Tai Lung said, see you on the other side, Dragon Warrior. Pooh travels back to the village. Zhen said, I was thinking, after I serve my time and I'm a free fox again. Master Shifu said her, out of all the candidates you choose to train as your worth successor, you chose the fox? Pooh said, you know. Master Shifu said, fine, I don't understand Dragon Warrior thinking, even Master Oogway. Zhen said, I don't know, I am ready for this. Pooh said, well, as I learned from working in my dad's kitchen. Sometimes the greatest dishes come from the most unlikely ingredients. Master Shifu sat on the top of the mountain and said finally, inner peace, inner peace, inner peace. The Furious Five returned after finishing their mission. Zhen said, the Furious Five, you're back. Zhen started training with them. They taught Zhen all the forms: movement, balance, concentration, arrow catching. Everyone, our Kung Fu Panda Season 4 has come to an end. What do you think? Is it good movie? Leave me a comment. Please give me subscribe if you like my video. We will see you next video. Hundreds thousands thanks you. Bye bye.